If the guy didn't pay for the first date, would you have an issue with that?
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
Here, let's go around the table really quick. We'll touch on it.
If it doesn't pay for the first date, it depends.
Like, he wants to split the bill. So it's not, you're not paying for him, he just wants to split. Deal breaker, you have an issue with it, no second date.
No second date.
No second date, what about you?
No second date.
Yes, I believe that a man should pay for like the first date, and I think that he should. I really like the traditional like first date. He opens the door and he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
I think that's what I place value in him being a gentleman and him paying for the first date. But if he were to ask me to split, I would split. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely appreciated if the man pays for the first date. However, if I don't like them, I offer to split and I will split because I would feel bad like using them, which I'd never use anyone for anything, but like I would feel obligated because I don't like you. I'm not going to see you again. I'm going to pay myself.
Yeah, me too.
I would prefer to split, and honestly, it depends on the conversation. Like, dinner is about conversation.
I mean, if he asked me on the day and he told me to split, I'd probably take that as an insult, and I would just probably like pay the whole thing and never see him again.
So if the guy asks, he should pay?
Huh? Yeah.
If the guy asks, he should pay?
Yes.
I think most of you would agree with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but okay, I'll come. Oh, okay. Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
No.
Interesting how that works. Okay, what about you?
It wouldn't necessarily be a deal breaker for me if he didn't pay for the first date, but I would prefer that to happen, yes.
Prefer if the guy pays. Okay, what about you?
I'm looking to be a traditional woman, and I want my man to be traditional as well. So no splitting the bill.
Okay. Well, you currently have a boyfriend, correct? Five years?
I do, yes.
Do you guys live together?
We do, yes.
Do you split the bills or how's
We
that
sure
work?
do, right down the middle.
50-50?
Yes.
And then when it comes to like dates, does he pay or it's kind of 50-50? Like he gets one, you get one type of thing?
Yeah, sometimes we do that. You know, I'll cover coffee one day, he'll cover dinner the next, something like that. But most often we do split things 50-50. We are in an interesting situation. I work, he's currently still going to school to be a pilot, so it just works a little different. He's not currently making money right now in the way that I am.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm an old school romantic, so I definitely would pay on the first date. I mean, if the girl asked me out, maybe not. But even then, I'm still like, yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. So
I think you should split.
The first day?
100%. Split.
Brian is starting to think you're cheap.
You
don't want to pay for nothing.
You kind of don't even know if you like each
You
other
don't wanna
yet, though,
pay
on
for
the first
nothing,
date. I
Brian.
kind of get where Brian's coming from.
Hold on.
I do.
Raven DT donated $100. Best way to weed out a woman who thinks her time is worth more than yours. First date, separate checks. If she still wants to see you for another date, man pays for second date. Third date, she pays for it.
Yeah, that's a thing you could do. Yo, Raven, thank you, man. Really appreciate the TTS. Definitely agree, though. First date, absolutely. Separate checks. He does have a very good point, though. Thank you, Raven. Of if it can be a way to screen out low-interest women. Like, if you don't pay for the first, obviously, you don't expect her to pay for you. You pay for your meal, she pays for hers. It is a way to screen out women who have a low interest in you. Because if she, even maybe her standard is she does want a guy to pay for the first date, but if she's so interested in you that she's going to be like, I still want to see him even though here's my standard, but I still want to see him. That's a very high interest woman in terms of her interest in you. So I think it's actually a good way to screen out women who have like low interest. So
I like that
too.
argument.
We should lower our standards.
You were saying?
I was just going to say, I think women put a lot of effort into first dates, and it's very expensive.
Bird in here. So what were you saying? You said
I was just going to say, I said it's just starting to sound that way because you don't want to pay for much. But no rings, no weddings.
Well, but I mean, if we take that argument to its logical conclusion, then like aren't 99% of women cheap because almost no women want to do any of these things?
I disagree with that. Like, you know, as an example, when women go on a date, the amount of effort it puts into keeping their hair nice, getting their hair done, getting their nails done, waxing, shaving, makeup. Makeup is so expensive. Their outfit, all of those things. I mean, it's expensive to get ready for a man to be pleased by what they're looking at.
Well, yeah, but don't women also say that you guys wear makeup for yourselves, not
I
for
think
men?
some women do. I don't agree with that.
So
why
which
can't
is
you
it?
do both?
Pick a
I don't
lane.
agree with that.
Why can't it be both?
Yeah.
Oh, so you wear makeup to be more attractive to them?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your honesty. Most women aren't prepared to cop to that, I guess. But,
to admit to it?
Yeah, but as far as the effort that goes into preparing for the first date, first off, I actually prefer women who wear minimal or no makeup. So I'll tell a woman, you don't really got to wear any of that shit.
Yeah, but that's so rare. I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm more that way. Like, you know, I didn't wear makeup for a very, very long time in uniform. You know, I had to kind of learn fashion and makeup and stuff when I left, but that's a rare thing. A lot of men, especially these days, you know, really want their women to be like social media models, you know?
Right. But okay, as far as it being cheap, like, it's not about being cheap. It's just that we as men, at least me as a guy, I don't want to waste my money on someone who doesn't deserve it. And it's not about the dollar figure. It's like, what, $10 for a drink, whatever. I don't care. It's more about a principle thing, because I would feel bad in the same way. Like, let's say someone stole $10 from you. What's $10? It doesn't really, but they've slighted you.
Yeah.
They've done something, they've victimized you in a way. I'm not comparing robbery to taking a girl out on a date. That's not, but it's not so much about the point I'm trying to make is it's not so much about the actual dollar figure. It's that you've been wronged in some way. And this is not, I feel like I'm digging myself a hole here.
How many dates we're talking?
Because I don't think if a girl's not interested in you, if a girl's not interested in you, I don't think you've been wronged because she's not interested. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like, if you're on a date with a girl who perhaps has, for example, if she's on a date with you for a foodie call, then I think you've been wronged. Where it's like she has some ulterior motive for her wanting to be on the date, whether it's for food, whether sometimes people will go on the first date, they'll do an experience together. Some guys will put out a lot of money on a first date to try to impress a girl, whatever it may be. So for me, it's more a principle thing. Like, in addition to that, I would feel, I don't know if wronged is the right word, but one of the reasons I don't like to pay on a first date is the way people move, both men and women in 2023, is you have to assume going in, whether you're a man or woman, that person you're seeing may very well be seeing multiple other people. So if I'm going on a date with a girl, it could very well be the case that she's sleeping with 1, 2, 3 other dudes. Maybe she's not sleeping with other men, but maybe she's dating other men. I've been on dates with girls and I'm talking to them, and I had one girl who's not particularly remarkable in any way. She said she had 5 dates scheduled that week.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't feel particularly special. I don't feel particularly inclined to fall into my traditional gender roles of paying for the first date when you're pursuing so many other options.
Yeah.
Now, especially if a woman is sleeping with another guy and you're going on a date with me and then I'm going to pay for your food, I've said this a couple times before.
Yeah.
Here's like the scenario that's just like crushing. If I were to pay for a girl's food, let's say we go on a dinner date, which I actually don't recommend dinner dates, certainly for first dates, it's for a variety of reasons. She gets a to-go bag with her extra food, gives me an ass-out hug at the end of the date. Oh, it's nice, good date. Takes a little to-go bag, brings it over. The date ends at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Brings it to the house of the dude who she's sleeping with, who, by the way, never took her out on the date. Gives him the food, which I paid for. Then she f***s him. Then he eats the food. That's like cuck.
This is oddly specific.
Is that what happened?
This is oddly specific.
That's like cuck territory.
Did this happen to you?
Did that happen to you?
Yeah, this is so specific.
That was very specific.
Well, I think this happens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what he's trying to say.
I don't know if it's happened.
Is that like
Keep
a
in mind,
nightmare?
I avoid food dates. I've done occasional food dates, especially when I was
I don't
younger.
go food date. I want to run away if I don't like the guy as
Food
soon as
dates is not
possible.
good.
I go to coffee first.
Yeah,
and
coffee
if I
or-
like it, and for the coffee, I want them to buy the coffee or the drink or
Oh
something.
yeah, not even that. Not even
And
a
then
$5
it's
coffee. You don't pay for that shit either.
No, I want them to do it the first time because I'm not gonna
No,
go.
no.
So and then I
No.
only go like 3 dates per year. So if like he doesn't have a gesture of like paying for the first one, like I don't want to waste my time.
Okay.
No, I completely agree with this. I know women who have specifically gone on dating apps and continue to go on dates, number one, to get free food, and number one, to have sex that evening. 100%.
Wait, have sex with the guy they're on the date with, or
Have sex with the guy they're on the date with. So yeah, the guy
Oh.
is getting something out of it, but still, I
Wow.
mean, that's getting into weird territory. They're not doing it to actually get into a committed relationship. They're doing it to just go on a date. Girl wants to get laid and she wants some free food and she's never going to see the guy again. I know people who have done that completely. And I think that when it comes to a guy paying for the first date, I do tend to agree a little bit more with what Brian's saying. And I think it really mostly comes down to the time in life that you're in. I mean, you're in college, you know, going on a date with someone. Everybody's kind of poor in college. Like, I think then it's definitely appropriate to split the bill. But I do see where the others are coming when it comes to, generally, I would understand why a man would pay for a bill.